IReady book, page 192. I'm just going to go through these. We're going to be butterflying using our butterfly method to compare these fractions. Oh, let me scroll down. So we have two fractions, 4/6 and 5/6. All right, they have the same denominator. So I went over the rules yesterday. You can absolutely use the rules here. Denominators are the same, so they tell us if you have the same denominator, you can just compare them by looking at your numerator. But we're still going to butterfly them because the fractions will not always have matching denominators. So I still want you to practice your butterfly method. So bottom up, 6 times 5 is 30. Bottom up, 6 times 4 is 24. 24 is small, 30 is our big number. So comparing them, we know since 4/6 is on the side as the 24, then we know 4/6 is less than 5/6. That's really what I want you to practice. Again, because the denominators are the same, we can tell that 4 is less than 5, but that will only work if you have the same denominator. How many sticks of Erica's glass are filled? Erica's glass had 1, 2, 3, the 4 6, so she had 4 filled. How many sticks of Ethan's glass are filled? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comparing 4, 6 we know is less than, because we got the less than symbol up here on our butterfly. Is the amount in Erica's glass less than, greater than, or equal to Ethan's? Erica's, we can look at the picture, is less. Is the amount in Ethan's glass less than, greater than, or equal to the amount in Erica? Ethan's we see is greater than. I think y'all could have done this without me, but I'll go over it and you can check your answers. Okay, moving on. Next page, this is page 193. They're showing you those symbols. We know if the alligator's mouth is facing to the left, it's greater than. If the alligator's mouth is facing to the right, it's less than. And of course, if they're equivalent, we use equal to. So they want us to compare 7/8 and 3/8. Again, the denominators are the same, so you can just look. But I want us to practice our butterfly method. So go ahead and butterfly those. Bottom up. And this gets practice on your multiplication facts that you know you're going to have a test on. Okay? So bottom up, 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 7, 56. 56 is greater than 24. So we know 7/8 is greater than 38. Explain how you decided which fraction was greater and which fraction was less. 7/8 is greater than 3/8 because 7/8 would be closer to 1. 3/8 would be closer to 0 if it was on a number line. 7/8 would have more pieces shaded. 3/8 would have less pieces shaded if it was on a diagram. So it depends on how you solved it. We butterflied, so we know 56 is greater than 24. All right, let's move on. 194. They're showing models that can help you. We can see that there's more shaded over here. Number lines can also help you. We can see 4/8 is closer to 0. 4/6 is closer to 1. So 4/6 would definitely be greater. We will still be butterflying them. It says how can you use the models? Well, the models can tell you which one has more parts shaded. So we can just say the bigger fraction has more shaded parts. Something like that. Number lines, how do we use number lines? Fractions closer to 1 are the biggest fractions. Remember, a number line is like a race, so the closer you are to the 1, the closer you are to finishing the race, so you're the bigger fraction. Okay, we will be butterflying to compare. So let's butterfly these fractions. 8 and 4, I'm going to rewrite it so I can do my butterfly. And 4, 6. Now the rule I went over with you tells you that if the numerators are the same, the bigger denominator should be the smaller fraction. But let's butterfly, and it will tell us 8 and 4. 8 times 4 is 32. So this side is 32. 6 and 4, 6 times 4 is 24. So this side is 24. So we want a symbol so I can see 32 is greater than 24. So the right side should be the one we eat. So to eat that side, I need the less than symbol. Okay. Compare with words. 4/8 is less than 4/6. It's less because 24 is on the 4/8 side. Now it wants us to switch them. So if I put the butterfly, the only way the butterfly changes is now you write the 6 times 4 on the right because I switched my fractions, and the 8 times 4 goes on the left because that fraction's now on the left. So we got to switch our signs. So now 4/6 is greater because I put it on the other side than 4/8. So now we want still eating at 4/6. We're still eating the 32. We just swapped which one went first. So that switches our sign. Explain how to use the symbols to compare fractions. The greater than symbol means the larger or the bigger or larger fraction is on the left. The less than symbol, the bigger fraction or larger fraction is on the right. That's all those symbols do. All right, so down here, I want you to butterfly and put the correct symbol. I would like for you to do them without me, and then go back and pause the video, butterfly them, put your symbol, and then come back and we'll check it. So hopefully you got 6 times 2 was 12 on this side. I'm not going to draw the wings because I don't want to cover up my circle, but you absolutely can do that. And on the other side, bottom up, we have 6 times 4, which is 24. So 24, 12. 24 is greater, so I need to eat that 4/6 because it has the 24 sign, a number. Bottom up, so 4 times 2 is 8. Bottom up, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 and 8, 8's bigger, so we need the less than symbol. We should be eating 2/3. 2 and 1 is 2. 2 and 1 is 2. So they are equal. We get 2 on both sides. Same thing down here, bottom up. 4 and 3 is 12. 4 and 3 again is 12. Equal. 12 and 12 are the same. Bottom up, 8 times 2 is 16. Bottom up, 2 times 2 is 4. 4, 16, 4 is less than 16, so less than symbol. Bottom up, 3 times 1. Bottom up, 3 times 2. 6 and 3, 6 is greater, so greater than symbol. So that's butterfly. Your butterfly method will always tell you which one is greater or less, or if they're equal. All right, green pages. This is 196. We will be butterflying. Julia and Mackenzie have the same number of homework problems. Julia has done 1/3 of her homework. Mackenzie has done 1/2 of her homework. Which student has done less? So the important thing on the word problems is make sure you know whether you want the biggest or the smallest. That says less. So they want us to compare fractions using the symbol. Okay, we're looking for the smaller fraction this time. That's what less means. So 1/3 1/2. Butterfly, bottom up. 3 times 1 is 3. Bottom up. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 is smaller than 3. So our less than symbol should be eating. We should be eating that half. So down here, which student has done less? We want the less. So we want the third. And who is the third? Julia. Why? Because 1/3 is less than 1/2. We use that less than symbol. Okay, 197. David and Rob each got the same size pack of crackers. David ate 3/6 of his crackers. Rob ate 3/4 of his crackers. Who ate more? Circle that word more. So more, we want the biggest one. We want to use a symbol. So again, butterfly, 3/6 and 3/4. Bottom up, 6 times 3 is 18. Bottom up, 4 times 3 is 12. We're looking for the greater. 18, 12, 18's greater. So we want to eat the 3/4. So who was my 3/4? Rob. So Rob ate more. Why? Because 3/4 is greater than 3/6. I switched my fractions, so that's why my sign changed. But then we wanted the more, so that's why I put the biggest one first. Number 11. Which fraction goes in the blank to make the comparison true? So we've got to find one that I can butterfly with 5/8 and 5/8 be smaller. So my suggestion is to write 5/8 next to all of these so you can butterfly them. I already know A is not going to be smaller because they're exactly the same. They're equal. All right, let's try this one. 8 times 5 is 40. Bottom up, 8 times 4 is 32. 32 is less, right? But we're looking for the one that's bigger, right? We want 5/8 to be less, so that one's out. Let's try C. 8 times 5 again is 40. Other side though is 8 times 6, which is 48. 48 is greater than 40, so 6/8 would be bigger. So 6/8 would fit here because it's greater than 5/8. Let's try D. We think it's C, but let's try D. 8 and 5 again is 40. This whole side was 41. 8 and 1 is 8. 8 is smaller, a whole lot smaller than 40, isn't it? Whole lot smaller than 40. So therefore, that one would not work because it would be smaller, not greater. So it would have to be C. Circle C, 6/8. Blake chose A. How did they get that answer? A was not great, right? He must not have known the sign. So A was equal, not less than. Something like that. All right, let's move on. Page 198. I really want you to do these on your own. We need a fraction that's greater. So again, you need to write 1/3 next to all of these and butterfly. And make sure you pick the one that's greater. I'm not going to answer that one for you. I want you to do it. Here, they want you to shade. So shade your 1/4. Shade your 2/8 and tell me what you notice about those. Put your symbol. Number 3, they want the first one to be less than that one. So make sure whatever you pick, you've got 6, 8, 1, 3, or 4. Whatever you pick. If I butterfly it, the left side should be smaller. Yes, left side should be smaller. Number 4, Tyrone needs a fraction to make this true, so we need something less than 4. They already tell you to put 8 in the denominator, so you don't get to pick the 8. The 8 has to go there. So try to put something on top, butterfly, and your left side should be smaller. You've got all this room down here to work and practice that. Just make sure 8 is in your denominator. And number 5, Tyron and Noah are each given the same amount of clay in art class. Tran divided his clay into 3 pieces, so that means his denominator's 3 automatically. He cut it into 3. I know to put a 3. He used 2 pieces to make a bowl, so my numerator would have to be 2. I'm going to put T, so I know that's him. Noah divided his into 4 pieces, and he used 2 pieces. So we have 2/3 and 2/4. Noah was 2/4. Tran says that he has more clay left than Noah. Is he correct? Okay, this one's kind of tricky. Tran says he has more clay left over. That makes this a higher level question. So I am going to help you on this one. We're not really comparing these 2 fractions. We want the leftover. So if he used 2 out of 3, what's left over? 1/3 is left over, right? If Noah used 2 out of 4, what's left over? There's still 2 pieces left over. You might even draw a picture of this to help you. So now we want to know if Tran's is more than Noah's. Tran says he has more left over. This is what they used. This is what's left. We want to butterfly the leftovers. So bottom up, 3 times 2 is 6. Bottom up, 4 times 1 is 4. Who has bigger number? Which side is bigger? Is Tran's side? He got 4. Is that bigger? Or is Noah's side bigger? He has 6. Noah's bigger. So Tran is wrong. Is Tran correct? No. Noah has more left over because 2/4 is greater than 1/3. This would be what I would call a DOK4 question. Not because you can't do it. It's because the words, you have to pay close attention because the numbers they give you are what they've used. The question does not ask you what they're using. The question is asking you what is left over. So you have to figure out what fraction is left. We know the whole thing would be 3/3. He's used 2, so 1 piece has not been used. The whole thing was 4/4. He's used 2, so 2 would not have been used. So that's what makes this a higher level question. These are those advanced questions that we really have to focus on the words, and they trick us up. All right, so that finishes your IReady green and blue pages. So you have in your Google Classroom some red pages to tear out and try on your own to turn into me. And that will finish up comparing fractions. And don't forget to be working on your slides as well.